Hi everybody, week 6. Well done guys, if you've been with us so far and stuck through the challenge. Amazing job. For this last week, we're going to do two stretches. I'm going to warn you, the first one is quite a strong one. For this class you may need some blocks and also to begin with a little stool could help. So this is a little foldable stool that I have, but any little stool roughly like this should work. So, we're going to start off. Step your feet nice and wide apart. To measure, you want to extend your hands out to the side, let your fingertips drop down, and your feet should be roughly underneath your fingers. From here, you're going to bend your right knee. So bend your right knee, set your hip back, and then rest on your fingertips. Option 1 here. So this stretch, we call it ninja squat. Also, you could call it Cossack squat. In a Cossack squat, our foot is lifted, but for this stretch, we're going to keep our foot firmly planted on the floor. Now here you want to keep thinking about sinking your hips back and let your hips drop down. As they sink, keep leaning the weight backwards. Now here's where you might use the stool. You can prop up, placing the stool right underneath your right hip. Keep working on driving everything back here. So this position, it can be quite hard to do our wet noodle pose, but as much as possible, try to find some relaxation here. We're getting a strong stretch on our adductors. We're working hip flexion and lateral rotation in our right leg. Let's come back to some breathing. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling out. Breath in with a whisper sound. Exhale, whisper sound. Keep driving your hips back. Now again, options. Maybe you remove your stool and maybe you place the blocks underneath your hips so you're getting a little bit lower down. And then the fourth and final option would be to remove the blocks or the table altogether. Keep driving your hips back here. Inhaling nose. And exhaling mouth. Inhaling. Exhaling. Now this is a very strong stretch. You might find yourself very quickly coming to an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Remember, you can always prop up. Fourth and final option, removing the blocks. Try to sink your hips as low as feels comfortable for you. Keep driving your hips back. Last 30 seconds here. Inhaling nose. Exhaling. Hips have the tendency to come forward. Keep lengthening and pressing your hips back. Inhaling. Exhaling. Slow and control. We'll come back to the center. Reset our timer. Maybe come all the way back up to stand. Maybe give the legs a little bit of a shake. Keeping the legs same distance apart. Drop down your fingertips. Make sure you're lined up just underneath your fingertips. And now we're going to bend to the left. Again, taking your stool, taking your blocks. Sink your hips back. Sitting down, keep flexing through that front foot. And then you're driving both hips back. Inhaling nose. Exhaling mouth. Ninja squat. Inhaling. Exhale. So you can see here in this modification, my bum is resting on the little stool, but even though I'm resting on the stool, I'm still thinking about driving my hips back and driving my right knee out. Keep breathing. Exhale, mouth. My toes are in one line. The outside edge of my right foot is pressing into the mat. Keep breathing here. Now as we go deeper, if you want a little bit more challenge, maybe you remove the stool, maybe you come onto the blocks. If this is too much, just stay where you are. Inhaling nose. Exhaling mouth. Here in this position, I'm working a very deep hip flexion in my right leg. I'm working lateral rotation in both legs. And I'm getting a strong stretch to my right adductor in this position. Keep driving the hips back. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. Inside of our final minute, if you want, you could remove the blocks, let your hips sink down. Another modification would be to maybe rest your hips on the lower side of the blocks. Here I find just letting your hips hover can be quite strong. Keep driving that back hip, both hips back, keep driving that left knee out to the side. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. Last 30 seconds. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. And now slowly, control, press yourself back up. Maybe wiggle your feet closer together. Bending knees. And then from here, we're going to lower down onto our mat. Coming onto your left side for our next stretch, which is called a lateral chain stretch. So right here, I'm resting on my left hip. And I'm going to take a step with my right foot. Wiggle my foot forwards. Wiggle my foot forwards. I'm resting on my left elbow and forearm. And I'm starting here in this start position. Now I'm keeping both feet flexed. I'm thinking about my right knee driving back. And here in this position, you might feel a stretch up along your IT band, all the way up through your left side obliques. Option one is to rest here on your elbow. Great place to be. If you'd like a little bit more challenge, you can come right up onto your hand. So here my right elbow is pressing against my right knee. And my left hand firmly planted with my fingers spread, and I'm lengthening up. I can feel a nice stretch up along here on my left side. This is called a lateral chain stretch. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. Inhaling. Exhaling. So again here, what I'm doing is I'm resting all the way along my left side. So my left hip, the outside of my left knee, outside of my left shin bone, my left ankle on the outside, resting on my left little toe. And then with my upper body, again I'm on my side, it could be down on my elbow if I like, Working for me here in this position, I like to straighten my arm. You could make it even more challenging by bringing that left hand even closer in towards your body, if you're looking for that. Here you're also working that flexion of your right hip and also getting a little bit of lateral, maybe rotation, but definitely getting a nice strong flexion. So you might be feeling this in the right glutes. You definitely are probably going to be feeling it somewhere along your left side body. Now, if your arms start to burn out, you could always prop up with blocks or pillows. Let's keep our breath going here. Inhaling nose. Exhaling mouth. Inhaling. Exhaling. Coming out of our 3 minutes, gently we'll start to work that right foot back, taking it back, and then straight away we're going to roll onto our right side. So again, on our right side, right leg is extended, little toe resting on the floor. We want a nice straight line from our ankle bone all the way up to our hip, and then maybe starting off down on our forearm. We're going to start to walk our left foot forwards here, getting the hip flexion. So this is your starting point and a great place to be in this lateral train stretch. You're stretching all the way along the right side now. On the elbow, I like to rest my elbow on the floor, spread through my fingers, rest on my forearms. That's option one. You can also use your left hand for balance. As much as possible, trying to soften all that area up along your right side body here. If you'd like a little bit more challenge, you might come right up to a straight right arm. Again, try to stay both feet flexed, resting on your right side. And then we're getting that bonus hip flexion here in our top foot. So being this our last week of the challenge, remembering as much as possible, try to stretch every day at the end of the day. This is going to take you a maximum of 15 minutes. In all these stretches, we aim to hold for roughly 3 minutes. Some of the stretches we've done in previous weeks are like today. They're asymmetric poses where we stretch one side and then the other side. And then sometimes we work those symmetrical poses where we're doing, say, a hero pose, where we're lying on our shins or sitting on the floor, getting stretched to both legs at the same time. When the challenge is done, what you could do is maybe pick some of the ones that you found were a little bit tough for, or maybe you'll find that you were a little bit tighter in, and maybe focus on those stretches. Maybe work that area for a week, then take a little rest, and then mix and match between poses. Inhaling nose. Exhale, lateral train stretch. Last 20 seconds. And then slowly we'll make our way out. Maybe taking your legs to the front, give them a little shake, maybe tap below and above, and we're done. Great job, everybody. So again, for this week, as much as possible, keep stretching at night. Remember your 3 principles: 4 8-count breathing, web noodle pose where you try to relax into the stretch, and also follow the video or use a timer. Well done again for staying with us for the 6 weeks. If you enjoyed this practice, this 6-week practice, remember you can find more of our classes online on YouTube or on our website, yogabodyireland.com. If you'd like to attend some live classes, check in on our schedule, which is also on yogabodyireland.com website or Yoga Body Ireland on Facebook. All of our classes for now, we teach at Nina Leisure Centre. Thanks everybody. Have a great week.